everyone. Again. So for the next 25 to 30 minutes, I've been given this opportunity just to give you all kind of an insight into our GRC platform within dnata. Before we start, can anyone tell me what the acronym, or dnata, what the acronym means? So it's actually Dubai National Air Travel Agency, and we've been around since 1959, so we're actually 25 years older than Emirates Airline, which is our sister company. And this is a really good opportunity for me and for us as a company to sort of give you some insights into GRC within our world, which is predominantly aviation services, so ground handling, cargo, travel, and also catering and retail. And it's an interesting dynamic because over the last sort of day and a half, what I've heard is some really interesting stories from a banking and finance sector. So the story I'm going to walk you through now might be a little bit different, but in terms of the principles and the framework, there's many similarities. So in terms of our journey, before I go to that, within dnata, our foremost priority is safety and security, and we have a series of 6 vision, mission, and values, and this is our foremost priority. So through a series of smart objectives, we're building towards a best-in-class health, safety, and environment system, or ecosystem as we call it. And over the next few years, up to 2027 and beyond, through our medium-term plan, we are striving for best-in-class or world-class status, and central to delivering on that goal is an effective use of our GRC platform. So within dnata, MetricStream is the product that we use, but we have done a number of modifications and upgrades to MetricStream over the years, and we refer to it within the company as dnata hub, which is the central cog of everything that we do from a GRC perspective. So just in terms of our journey over the last 60 plus years, we were established in 1959 through a government decree, and we are an international organisation. We set up our first international business in 1993, and gradually over the years we've seen significant growth across all of our business units, as I mentioned previously. A big focus for our success is what we call One Dnata. So the big focus and drive is on standardization. So we have a variety of platforms and suites that we use, from our safety management system, our environmental management system, amongst others, which are deliberately built and framed around common goals and objectives. So the beauty of that being that you could work on the ramp in our operation in Brazil to the same standards and expectations to our team in Australia or Zanzibar or here in the US. So over the next few years, we've got some really interesting challenges coming our way. You will have seen, I would imagine, quite recently the announcement about the new airport project in Dubai World Central. The target is 2033 for the opening of the new terminal, with a capacity of 250 million passengers a year. We already have that airport, we have for the last 10 years, and this will be a significant upgrade to be the world's largest international gateway. So in terms of why GRC is so important to us, central to that is our safety management system, or SMS. So SMS is essentially the bedrock of everything that we do across 4 key pillars. So safety policy, risk management, assurance, and also promotion. To be able to deliver on the requirements of our SMS, our dnata hub platform is absolutely central to achieving those goals. So how have the platforms evolved over the last sort of few years? So we're now into our 9th year of our partnership with MetricStream. The beginning back in 2015, along with our One Dnata and One Safety initiative, was the first, I guess, pillar in that strategy was rolling out incident management. So that allowed us to have one platform for reporting safety occurrences across our global business. Then in 2018 was the global expansion. So we introduced new applications within the Dnata Hub in addition to incident management and reporting. 2020 allowed us to start moving into the continuous monitoring phase. So the likes of our DMS or documentation management system. We also introduced surveys and inspections through the auditor and also the Stop mobile app. So we could go out there and report safety hazards and threat to our organisation. And once again, just to emphasise, this is across all 3 of our operational divisions. And then strengthen. So we're now moving into phase 4, as we call it, looking at how we scale up as we continue to build our business. And we are currently 2 weeks away actually, from the launch of the Euphrates upgrade as well. So exciting times. A lot of work has gone in to the launch of Euphrates, working with Gaurav and Rahul and the rest of the leadership team within MetricStream. So like I say, exciting times. A big focus for us is on continuous improvement as well. So we've built a very strong partnership with MetricStream. We've now established a very strong governance model as well in terms of performance monitoring. So just an overview of the Dnata Hub. So as I say, we started out in 2015 through the use of incident management or reporting an incident, really basic stuff as a requirement for the bedrock of any safety management system. And then we've built the system up and we've now established a documentation management system, as I've mentioned, reporting incidents and the auditor. The beauty of DMS is that can be accessed by any of our team in the world. So we've got access to Office 365 accounts. And an example of a DNS document could be a global safety alert, it could be a new manual, it could be a guideline document, it could be a new operational standard. All of those are published through DNS and are automatically or electronically tested within the system as well. So for auditing purposes, it's very, very efficient. We also launched stop observations as well, and also through issue and action management, we can assign tasks and actions to our businesses around the world. What's been key to this success is keeping things simple. One of the worst things you can do in my role as a safety professional is overcomplicate how you manage safety within your business. So what I'll take you through shortly is some examples of some of the apps that we've created on the mobile devices and how those have been deployed into our operations. So in terms of just some numbers, so we've currently got in excess of 20,000 documents hosted within the DMS platform, 10,000 or in excess of 10,000 mobile users, that's around 14 to 15,000 currently, and the auditor, over 40,000 audit and survey documents are accessible within the platform. What gives me great confidence as well, if you look at the bottom right statistic there, 400,000 plus observations. So we encourage actively from our leadership level all the way down to the front line to report any unsafe behaviours and actions within our business. And what we've seen over the last 2 to 3 years is a considerable increase in the number of safety reports within the business. So that leads to a much more positive and aware safety culture. So in terms of the some examples of our use cases, we have what are called leadership tours. So previously there was a requirement for our operational leaders, so managing directors, CEOs and so forth, across all of our divisions of business to go out there, visit the front line in the cargo warehouse, the catering facility, the kitchens, wherever it might be, out in the desert camping sites, for example, and speak to the frontline staff, understand any issues and really show real commitment to our employee base. Historically, until about 18 months ago, that was achieved through an email and a horrible Excel spreadsheet to track trends, totally unworkable. So we did some in-house development with the MetricStream team and my own in-house team, and we developed an app through the auditor that allows our senior leaders to go out there into their business and in 3 or 4 minutes record their leadership tours or LSTOPs on their mobile devices. So it's very intuitive. They can take photographs, upload them into the platform, and now through our balanced scorecard, we have what are called leading safety performance indicators. So they are proactive controls to mitigate potentially adverse future events. So we have a monthly performance metric where each of our leaders have to go out into their business and record their leadership tours or safety walks, and then there's a monthly review meeting, and any leaders that haven't done their non-stop tour are required to provide reasoning for not complying with the company standards. So it's had some really good feedback. As I say, it's been very intuitive, and if you can go from spreadsheets to something like that, which takes 2 minutes, then you have that advocation across all the leadership teams. Stop observations. So this is an opportunity for all of our frontline workforce to report unsafe acts and behaviours 24/7. So it's recorded within the platform, and we also now have targets that are set proactively in terms of minimum numbers of stop observations that should be conducted throughout the operations. Once again, it's very simple and it's very intuitive. You can also proactively trend the data to now look at where future safety threats and risk might sit within the business. And again, this is one of our team in the cargo warehouse, but this is out on the line loading aircraft. It could be in our desert safari camps, anything like that. It's one common standard and one common approach. So incident management, again, the bedrock of everything that we do. This is where we started from 9 years ago. Really simple to use, and that can also be submitted through the mobile app as well. So the auditor, so this is our survey tool. So this allows us to go out into our operations and we can conduct things like task compliance checks. So an example of that would be if I'm on a business trip somewhere to one of our operations, I can go out and there's a bespoke checklist within the auditor, and it might be something around serviceability or operations of pushback tugs, for example, and I can go out there and do a 10-point check on what the operational requirements are of operating a pushback tug, just as one of many, many examples. What we're able to do then is transpose that into a Power BI dashboard that you can see to the bottom right there. And we then have monthly reports that are generated across the business, and we can determine who has done TCC checks, etc. So it's quite a powerful tool to use, not just to our business leaders, but right to the top of the organisation as well. So the DMS that I referred to earlier, another powerful tool. This is going through some wholesale changes as well through the new Euphrates upgrade, but once again, very intuitive and allows us to track and manage who has read and attested global documentation. So once again, it's all hosted within the cloud and can be accessible by any of our global teams. So enterprise analytics, this is nirvana of where we want to get to. From my perspective as a safety guy, is predicting when incidents are going to happen. So just to qualify that, we're a long way off, but the use of historical data is gradually allowing us to get to a point in time over the next few years when we can hopefully deep dive when an incident might potentially happen, such as ground damage to an aircraft in a particular location, the time of day, what part of the airframe might get damaged, and that sort of thing. So that's ultimately where we want to get to. So we started a piece of work with our in-house enterprise team last year. We are making good progress, but of course quality of data is essential to supporting on that journey. So reliability-wise, it's quite low at the moment, which is to be expected. But ultimately, over the next 2 to 3 years and beyond, we want to have a really good opportunity to snuff out our threats before they're allowed to manifest themselves within the operation. So, like I say, a long way to go, but we think we're on a pretty good journey to achieve that goal. So, embracing change on the journey. So, for us, it was key to get the support in place. Also, training is essential to allow all of our global workforce to understand the benefits of using the platform. But also, on the way to delivering on these goals over the years, we ensured that we consulted our global businesses in terms of what they felt was the right approach, but also continuous engagement as well. And we have regular dialogue with Gaurav and the team through our governance model, but also it's essential that the frontline workforce understand the benefits of dnata Hub to them personally, and also to their colleagues and the business as a whole. So in terms of what have we learned as a business on this journey so far, Euphrates has been an interesting experience, I think both from our perspective and from MetricStream's. For us, there are 3 key areas as a customer in terms of enabling that success. The first is about your people. So having an experienced team that can go out there and deliver the product. The guys in MetricStream have got a really strong team, but we found through this process that in an aviation company, there are elements that I think could be tweaked to meet our expectations, and that will come through continuous improvement and learnings. Process. So continuous review, quality engineering testing is absolutely vital, so you can identify the threats along the way, and through regular performance testing and performance management through UAT. But also, which is key, is the product itself. So we are an organisation that is constantly growing, and we're seen now as for some time has been quite a dominating force within the aviation services sector. and we have 2 to 3 new businesses that are going to be coming online towards the end of this year. One particularly large business in Italy, and it's essential that we look at how we scale up to meet that demand, because we could have potentially another 3,000 to 4,000 users within dnata Hub by the end of this year. So it's proactively looking at that capability to meet that demand further down the track. And just to close out, 8 minutes early, I just wanted to give you some insights in terms of safety within dnata itself. So we have our public website, dnata.com, and under /safety, you'll be able to get some insights into how we promote safety culture within our organisation. We do have a number of documents in the public domain that will give you some further insights, our life-saving rules, our safety guide, and so forth. And within there, you will see a strong contribution from dnata Hub, that's able to facilitate us on this ongoing journey. Thank you. Any questions?
One back here.
Yes.
I would like to know a little bit more about how you use OCF, or how you're using OCF to use the public.
Say again. What's that?
I would like to know how you're using
Yeah. Make sure it's not too much of a technical question, because I'm not a tech guy per se. So just take me by the hand.
It's not going to be a technical question, I promise.
Oh, thank you very much.
I did see you talk a little bit about organizational change management.
Yes.
I wanted to know how you're using that to move forward, how you used it in the past to make it successful.
Very good question. Thank you for that. So we launched a global employee engagement survey last year. And what we've been able to do through the results of that, I think it was about a 65% response rate, which is actually pretty good by all accounts. What we've done is, through our culture and engagement team within the organisation, they've filtered out all the responses into 5 or 6 different groupings. And what we've now done, through the accountability of each business owner, is taken those actions and uploaded them into dnata Hub in issue and action management. So every month now, our CEO will demand an update from each business leader in terms of how they are progressing on those employee engagement result actions, and that's done through the platform itself. It's presented in the Power BI format. So historically, it was done. Previous survey in 2022 was done again through Excel, but now we've harnessed the power of dnata Hub to track those actions from the most recent survey. So what we can do is produce a status report of progress on those engagement actions across the business, aligned with set target dates. So it's actually worked quite well so far. Actually quite an easy question for me to answer, thank you very much.
Hi, great presentation, thank you very much, I really appreciate it.
Yes.
So you gave a lot of different tips as you went through. I'm just curious if, it's quite a journey that you went through, and I wanted to see if you could summarize your overall advice. If you had sort of one piece of advice to give having gone through this, what would you tell the audience?
I think it would be one step at a time. I think the way that we've initiated the platform rollout in the past, in 2015, was the right approach, with incident management first, which is the first element in any SMS. I think don't take on too much too soon. And also, going back to my last slide about learnings, was that having effective performance management of the vendor is key to success. We've got a really good relationship, like I say, with the guys here, but I think there's learnings for any organisation, and I think through this recent Euphrates experience, I think it's put both of us in a much stronger position from the learnings from that. It's all about, once again, engagement, regular testing and performance management. And the good thing within our organisation is that we had a target of the 28th of April, say, ballpark, to launch Euphrates, and we felt that it wasn't the right time because we weren't happy with the quality of the platform. So there was no real pressure to get it out just for the sake of it, for a press release or whatever, because that could be the worst thing that you do, and then when you roll it out, you've got significant repercussions. So we've managed it quite well so far, and I'm hoping in the next 2 to 3 weeks, no pressure, that we will be able to roll the next iteration out across the business.
Yeah, David, can you talk a little bit more about engagement with, in this case, the vendor, MetricStream, or why is that important, and maybe some examples of what you're doing would be very helpful.
So the way that we've set up our relationship with MetricStream, particularly in the last 12 or 18 months, it's been very much sort of face-to-face conversations, back to basics really. We have a very strong governance model where we regularly review service level agreements versus the contract. We do regular performance reviews with the wider MetricStream team, and we have service review meetings as well, which we didn't have 12 to 18 months ago. We had some challenges last summer, which the MetricStream guys did a really good job of turning that tide round. But it's not reinventing the wheel, it's just keeping things really, really simple, and having that regular dialogue, but then understanding our concerns as a customer, which they do. But it's just, keeping things really compact and understanding each other's needs and expectations. So, any questions on the football? Thank you.
Thank you so much, David.